I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is February 27th, Thursday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. As I was mentioning yesterday, you guys got to be careful that we can come down again because this is starting to obviously look really bearish. As you see here, we're talking about coming into the 3.5 to 4 extension again, and then rolling over, plus all those lows that I mentioned to the left of the chart, which is obviously here. Look at the daily, that low, and that low. So that liquidity there, obviously you have that guy there. They're just cleaning house right there, dude, hard. Now, where are the signs in the wall? Obviously, I was mentioning, and this is fractal, so I mean, this is happening also in a 1 minute, but you can see the fanning out here, very clear. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Like if you don't want to fight, look at this structure. It's beautiful. To be honest with you, I have never. This is fucking beautiful. To be honest with you, if you understand what side you are. If you take a look at the 1 hour, where does it show? Obviously, when I was on vacation, I was like, dude, I wanted to take this to swing it. I didn't expect all this. But hey, listen, if we're not in a bullish economy, like for example, this. When I drew this, right, we should keep going up if we're making a new high. Do you see? And again, if you've been following the videos, you know I've drawn this. I didn't draw it perfect. It was just very blindly drawn. But the point is look at the break through it. Look at the break through it, right? So yes, could they be, when they come this deep, we should be pushing up. We have no business coming any lower. We came lower. So now this is final resort, right? Like, so all the legacy tech stocks, they all pulled back. So, this could be a good squeeze out to then finally go back up. Trump's tariffs on March 4th, they go in effect. So I'm assuming that makes it worse. But let me get back to the video so I don't get thrown off here. But just so you, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna do this every day, right? I'm not. But I wanted to show this logic. Yesterday we were banging on that 50% of, this is a screenshot of the gap, the fucking massive gap. This was supposed to be a floor. Instead, it inverted and turned into a bearish resistance, right? So we hit that yesterday. Now today, literally like at 7:30 something, we hit it. Perfect. Up here, that's what that red line is. This is my entry. Okay, so while we had this bearish imbalance. We had the 8:30 news, speakering out, came to the open, pushed back up, and we're really getting stuck here. Now, look how they did this dirty, but I've seen this a million times. Plus, that liquidity all here. So here, and for anyone who was buying here, you could see, well, I have the wick. Some people said that they didn't have this wick on their chart. I mean, we saw a live print on my chart, but I looked at other charts and they're there too. So I don't know if you had that problem or not, right? But dude, that looks like it's about to sink. Where am I at? Yeah. So they had it right there. So this is NQ1. I mean, it's on right there too. So I'm not sure if anyone else had that problem, but what was I gonna say here? So the point of me saying that is because of the fact that that's damn, where am I at? Right here. Well, I'm gonna go back to the fucking. So here you have this liquidity here, right? And it came into 50% of that wick, so it's holding. But when I took this sell here, this is why I am gunning for this area in green at minimum. Why? Because it's a breakout level. See that high right there? See, we pushed right fucking through. I mean, that's really clear, right? If you do the projection just on the bodies on the 15-minute, you can see the 2 to 2.5 is right here. So at the time of this moment, this is what I was looking at. I knew the opening range gap was here. And then I also understood that, and even if we were going to go up like let's just say we were bullish after this shit here, I understood that we should sell off first. It's a dump and a pump. My model, basically, in general speaking, obviously using the 50% range, but also just a dump and a pump, right? The understanding of that flow, right? And in general speaking, that'll make from a higher high, it'll bring it to a higher low, and then from a higher low, if it's bullish, it'll go up. If it's bearish, it's gonna keep going down, right? So, and you rarely see it just blast off. If it just blasts off, then I'm looking for a higher high and then a retrace for a higher low, and I'm flowing that way, right? So here's what they did at 9:30, and just so you know, I was almost spooked to just start buying. So this pushed, so you can see that this is holding and there, but we never take out that high. This is very similar to obviously when we did this here, right? So, let me zoom out right here. See all this mess right here with the lower highs, but never taking out the high. And then this high never takes that out. This was the same logic, but remember, where are we, dude? We are literally, we smacked that 50 low. I can promise you right now, no one on the internet has this gap highlighted on their chart. I guarantee it. Look, dude, that hit perfectly to the tick twice right there, right? And then it fell away. So you thought it would bust up and maybe come to the 75%. Well, as 9:30 opens, I'm like, dude, well, I mean, you didn't, I'm already trying to come lower here. So I've already, when they popped up here, I already took a loss because I was in it here, happened to be. But it's in the 850 to 910 macro, so I took it. I understood that we were tagging this many times. If it's going to go bullish, it needs to go above it. It needs to bounce and it needs to continue. So here's where I was like, dude, these motherfuckers. And I was lucky enough to say, you know what? No. It's coming. So here's how they did it. So I measured these two here, these two candles. You can see the 2 to 2.5. So I'm like, are they going to bust through? So I got to show you on a smaller time frame. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to make this video short, bro. But the point is that it came down, then it came up. I'm like, okay. Then it retested back to 9:30. I'm like, this is going to be bullish. So then it pushed up here, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, this is still a lower high. We still have all this unfinished shit that's possible here. Look at that right here, right? And everybody and their mother is trying to buy here. That's for sure. So the decision making is what really comes into play. But take a look. We see this candle right here, this 936. This opens up and then it pushes up. And I was like, oh, bro, that's a signal of it switching direction and going up. Then this pushed up and it started to reject. And an instinct said, this is just a raid. We're going to come down for all this shit. And at that moment, what's it called? Oh, where am I at? Oh, I didn't highlight it. Oh, just give me a second, man. Here, yeah. Why is it not shown? Oh, it is. It's just muddy. The colors. I need to take this off real quick. Whatever. So here is the first imbalance from, why am I taking, I'm just tired, from Tuesday here. That first imbalance on Tuesday, it's dragged out. We can't get above it. I mean, we're above it, but we're knocking on it. So with this is also coupled with that, right? So now I said all that to say this. The thing is that if it was going to keep going, it should have kept going, and we should have took this high out. And to be honest, even if it rated this high, it still might have been suspect to sell again, but it did not. And because of that, I decided to take that sell. So I did take a loss from here, trying to catch it because I was trying to roll right in, right? And it failed, but then I got filled as the candle came down through pretty much the previous candle, which is the 936. I get filled. Now, the confirmation is coming underneath back this bearish imbalance plus the first imbalance for today. Remember, we're knocking on, I have it highlighted right here. Just so look to the left here. I have it highlighted here and I drag it. I don't like it all the way over, but I like it like on my 15-minute, like over here. So as you can see, we're still like kind of underneath that. And then today's first imbalance, we blow through it. So I know we're rolling. Okay, so where am I going? Very, very clear. I didn't just wait. When I waited for this level to get hit, it's still, I mean, look at each candle. I'm mentally dragging each stop loss first. And then when we get close, I put it here just for you to see this. So what is this level right here? That is the midnight level. That is very specific on what I'm screenshotting here, just so you understand. This is not like, oh, it's luck or no, I'm very intentional. When it was coming down, I was like, well, I'm going to let it roll. I'm not going to stop it, right? You need to do that. That's for sure. But look at the midnight level. Look when we just blasted off. We never touched it again. And we have a high probability of going through the opening range gap. We have a high possibility for that low right there. And then just pretty much being bearish and coming even for these lows here. So for me, I'm trailing the trade, and this was my minimum target. I got a nice dump. Very proud. End up getting stopped out, closer, lower. And then let's go to the final trade here. I took some more trades, but I'm only going to show these right here. So here, I get stopped out right here. Right here. In this area right here. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. So at the time, so it's hard for me to project and show all the projections on a screenshot because obviously there's different ones. But when we kept going lower, obviously we blew through the 3.5 to 4. So at this moment, I'm not really like paying attention to that. But I have to the left here, I do have this swing here with the candles, the bodies only, right? So the 2 to 2.5, and then that also made me project to this next down gap plus that midnight level, and that's kind of how like I got there. Now, then I'm here. You'll see. So, right there, I only measured these two candles with the bodies only, and then obviously. The market's moving fast. I'm not able to change things and fix things and add things, and sometimes I just leave it the fuck alone. I'm all saying that so I can explain this. So, whatever, man. So here you can see that I swing from here to here. I do the projection from here to here, and here's 2 to 2.5 right here. So when we get this push up, it's either going to keep buying or it's going to fucking create up candles and resistance and sell. Look at it, man. Very clear that we get this inversion here and we tag underneath it. So this bullish candle looks strong, but it becomes a control of price. So it pushes up and then we break underneath it. We come underneath, and as you see the blue line, that's resistance. Again, with this up candle, resistance. I just made a video all about it yesterday. You should understand this and know this. But when the price comes back underneath, like that bearish imbalance, that becomes inverted again, for speaking, but it's reclaimed. But when the price pushed up, you get this next candle that pushes down, right? And then this next candle pushes all the way up right into the wick, but it rejects, but it makes it swing high. So understanding the probability of this selling again right here is very high, especially in the market that we're dealing with. Breaks down, and then it's just gone, right? And where is it going? It's hunting for that low right there first. Now we're in that 3.5 to 4 that I talked about, right? And again, this doesn't mean it's gonna hold either, but it's opportunity for a trade, which in this case was this buy. Why is that the case? Because this is a speaker right here. Again, speaker here. See that? We make that low and we break fucking through this whole way easily. That means I'm looking for the pump. Does it mean I need to have the pump come up here, but it to 50% of the range? You can see it right there. That's 50%. This is a drawing tool, and you can see 50%, which is these little blue dots. We're eyeballing it here. You see this area right here? That's 50% of that range from here to here. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it. So when I'm measuring this last down candle, you can see the 3.5 to 4 is right here. That's just a confluence. What do I also have in this area? I have breakout levels from there. I also have the gap that I'm highlighting. I also have this level here. So when I'm buying up here, I'm tagging that low, that low, that low. So these are the lows I want to come right back to seal the sellers. It's a dump and a fucking pump. So very simple. Yes, I take a loss when I first get underneath because, you know, I understand where we're at. But sometimes when you hit a low like that, it'll just snap back. So when it closed, it ended up coming lower, took a loss, sniped it again, pushed up. What am I doing here? Well, again, those blue lines pops in resistance. Blue line pops in resistance. This should have broke. This should have never went any higher if my buy was going to succeed, but it did. So, and I'm expecting that. So I'm highlighting here just to show you. So it broke through. This is a bearish imbalance. Is it going to keep going? I had a feeling it wouldn't. I'm in a good reversal area. Not reversal, retracement, I should say, area. So I have the 3.5 to 4. I got this 2 to 2.5, very clear, and we've accomplished that low. Okay, so I'm looking for the next move, and the price pushes up here, comes back in the candle. We're testing that low as well, and we make another high. We start pushing up. We get in here, so it doesn't fall back down. Now this blue line is in control. This you could delete this. Not yet though. You delete it once you break that candle, but basically this inverts and it becomes a inverted bearish, right? You have this blue bullish imbalance here. We dip in it. So now we've came up and then we've dipped back in. We've got order flow, right? Listen. Anyways, so what is the main objective here? Obviously it was this 2 to 2.5 as well. Because of its obviously lack of price action, and it's a 2 to 2.5 here. Now we came and we started wicking here, and I was like, these motherfuckers might sell it from here. So dump and pump, but this was too shallow to me. And I wanted to bump up against this low right here. So I'm already have accomplished this low, but this low here. So let me go to it. This is why I make fucking videos. I don't know, man. I've already made this video way too long, but it's gonna be a fire one. So here, right here, see this 2 to 2.5. Look to your left here. See how the price is moving up. Look to the left. We're getting to those lows, but look right here where I am right now. Look to the left of the chart. Do you see that low that we're not hitting? We're underneath it. I'm hovering underneath it. So that's why I held. I was like, nah, I'm going to hold this because I know we should hit that low. And why should we hit that low? Because that low, if you look to the right, it's in this imbalance. It blows through. It doesn't give somebody the opportunity to get back out if they're underwater, for example. So it pushes back up. And then we get this big dump candle, this 1022. So I was like, yeah, I started pushing up hard, this 1022. And now I'm getting into my area. We then bump that low that we haven't hit yet. And I'm in that gap. And this is now could be a control of price. This is all bearish. And then you come back to the mean reversion of that speaker. I just talked about this yesterday as well. That's when we came to here, right? Remember that? So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Get the extra leg. They did now very bearish. They decided not to go any higher. So I was wondering if they would come up here, but they did not. So that's why you need to be fucking done. All right. So, because you don't know what's going to happen. But here's what they did. We came right back to this up candle, this 949. Came right back to the macro there and tagged it. That's why I'm showing you this here. Beautiful coming up. I have to do this just so I can prove it that I got out, right? So I'm in a 3.5 to 4. I'm being very, very fucking specific here. All right, very proud of myself here. Overbought, not a coincidence there, and so on. So then take a look here. What's it called? This was a nice trade here. Took this as well. Now this, when it pops in here, I get stopped out. We come underneath. We have a bearish imbalance, and then we start breaking low. I take this trade. Why am I selling this here? I'm not going to show you every fucking trade right now. So this trade, where does it go? I sell it to here. Why is that logical? Because this is a breakout level. We push right through it. So they're coming to balance it. Where's another breakout level over here? You see it? Oh, well, this is just not coincidence, right? See that high right there? When I said it would have been bearish if it just kept sinking down, but it broke through. Why did the fucking price come right here, buddy? Because of that. So I got these three candles measured with the bodies only. 1 to 1.5 is right here. You back test this. You do what you want to do, but there's a gap here that I have highlighted. It's algorithmic flow, right? Bounce up and down, right? You see it? Okay. So that was a smart play here. All right, and then came back real quick to squeeze out. So for me, I got the 1, 2, 3, right? So it's a simple sell by sell is what I was accomplishing here. Then the bitch comes all the way up. Fucking tough. Right back to 50%. Comes back underneath. Keep in mind, this right here, this imbalance right here, we use this later. Okay? This is an imbalance where we see if price is going to use it as support or resistance. Whenever it figures out what it's going to do, there it is right there. You see that shit right there? So what happens is this. Again, you don't know. This could be a sell, buy, right? But as being bearish, this is, as they come up many times, I'm going to count them for you. This move down is 1. Pushing up to 50%, that's move 2. We bumped many times, but really, this is just 1, 2, and then the third one down. So they consolidate during the rest of the day, and then they use the PM session to sell it. And then, dude, I even caught some of this sell, but it's, let me just show it to you here. So you'll see that when the price comes back down here, so when they come down here to wipe out those breakout traders here, it rushes up to wipe out the sellers here. But it doesn't break that high. If it doesn't break that high, that's a lower high, and they squeeze so tight. And if you're up here, you're like, well, I'm on an overbought. The RSI is really doing a nice job a little bit. So understand that's a possibility in a dangling carrot. They squeeze everybody, and they don't break that high. That's because now they want to rush down and come and wipe out these liquidity to the bottom side, which it does beautifully. So as you see, we break, we come underneath that top candle. I got it projected down here, and really they're just coming real low to swipe these people out here. So it's another leg down, and then all right, so you can also look at it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th one is the one that took off. So when it gets down here, what do? They come up with this funky ass shit right here. Higher, high, higher, low. Look at this engineered right there. Push it up. Everybody wants to get in. Everybody wants to be a fucking buyer. Comes right over here. Where? To the squeezing of the breakout traders here. I'm trying to tell you, man, this is all logical. All right, and then we get above it, and you're like, dude, it's above it, and it's wicking and it's showing. But guess what? Did it keep going? It did not. It broke down. It comes underneath. Look at the body sitting at 50%. Now it has made its decision to stay low. And some people will wait for this all day. And then another fire tidbit is that when the PM session started at 1:30, here's the first imbalance. That's how I caught this sell. See this see this 131 candle? It's an imbalance. I'm gonna zoom in for you. See that imbalance right there? See how we come underneath it? So here we break these 3 consecutive candles. We break that and we retrace deep, which is this last candle. So if you got balls, you could do that right here. But the 130 hasn't started yet. So then 130 kicks in. So it's a possibility that it's going to sell from here. It is, because we've already came up here and did this job. So does it become bullish or bearish from here? Okay, so even if this wasn't clear enough for you for it to come underneath as a break and then come again, well, you could have waited for this. Look at this speaker here. This was trying to confuse people. But anyways, that first imbalance, you can see that the bodies respect here, and then we break from it. Yes, it wicks above, and I was like, this ain't gonna work. This is probably buying, but then it wicks back down. So you're like, I know what the fuck you're doing. So you got to see this live. It's a different conversation. But anyways, when we break lower, this is basically like a couple drives as a lower low, and then the retrace back is the lower high. They're trying to do this to fucking confuse you. And then they come up and squeeze the imbalance here. As you see, that ends up working out. And then what? We sell off. So again, they did all this when London close was kicking in. They started selling it. Why? This down candle is at 10:30. This is a 10 o'clock candle. All this 2 big movements here. That's why when I got out here, I waited until 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock rushed it down, and then I understand that we're going to be buying back up, obviously, to get back into 50% of that range. But I'm using the 10 o'clock to wait, right? That's how, if you're wondering, how did I catch this? Well, I'm not buying it here. It's the 10 o'clock is going to open up. You don't buy at 10 o'clock on the dime as soon as it opens up, right? So anyways, and we had news, or a little funky news or whatever, but what was I gonna say here? I was about to say something, but yeah, London close. Yeah, so they're gonna come for any low. In this case, it's a lower low. Any lows, swing lows that they've created after 10 o'clock. Well, 10 o'clock's here, so they made that low. They made that low. Well, they made that low too. They made that low, and then they also made that low. This is 11 o'clock, so London close is now like getting into here. So then they're squeezing everyone out. Then they're rushing for all that lows that it created after 10 o'clock. Then it stops here, tries to act like it's bullish, just like anyone who was trying to buy this shit yesterday here, right, to hold. This is the same logic of what they were doing here. So they pushed it up. Yeah, bought, but they didn't take out that high though. So agenda was to come down. Obviously, look at that bearish imbalance holding and then swept. So when their candles are coming like this is price action characteristics. If you look, you can see the momentum of the candle. You could push sell anytime in here. And then you see we don't pop in because they just broke and it slithers each candle. Boom, boom, boom. You know, it's just so easy. Oh my God. Just the understanding, if you understand this type of price action, each candle, swinging, swinging, swinging. Now, when we get here, they flirt with the low, right? They take it out, but they act like it could be buying again. So what they do is they make these 3 candles up, and then this 220 wicks down and then wicks back up, and you're like, oh, that's strength. No, look how they do it. Look at the next candle, the 221. Then this opens up and it pushes down. So in reality, what it's doing is it's a balanced price range. It comes down, up, and then down. And then guess what? The price never has to come back up here, and you never get any entry here if you're looking for like a whatever. So that's how they do it. It becomes like a control of price as well. It's just a different variation of a control of price. And boom. And then this comes down. Wicks comes up. Boom. Again, balanced. You're done. You're not getting any higher. You got to push fucking sell here. It's slithering, and then boom, keeps coming lower. All the candles just fucking gorgeous. And then I also caught this right here, this bad bitch right here. This was tough, but I was like, I knew what they were doing. So they did double bottom here. And look, remember, we didn't hit the lows here. Well, we hit the first low here. That low. Now there was this low. No, I'm sorry. No, yeah, right now I'm talking about getting to this second low here. Forget the monthly, the January low. I'm talking about that low. So that low and that low, right? So that's that first low. We blow through it. Now that's that second low. They're dangling it right above. Yes, sometimes they used to buy in bullish scenarios, but that's not the case here. So then we're rushing for that. This is a trade model all in itself. What it does is the same idea here. Pushes up with the candles, makes a control of price. They did that here. Push down, they push back up. And they don't take out that high. But take a look here. It barely tags it. Then they push down. Then they did this shit here. Then they come back one more time. Just as a fucking hair. Because if you push sell here or here, you've got your stop loss here. Then they're so slick. Then they tag it by a hair. That's not even a tick. It's a hair. All right? And then they drop it right there. And then it pushes down. And I'm like, well, and this is a very common pattern when you get to an area like this of liquidity below. But look how this converts. At this point, you're like, oh, is it buying or selling, right? Look what it does. Then you get this candle here. And then then it starts to break. At this moment, you might not know, right? But you definitely know here. This 301. Now, I understand that I'm banking on the probability of that. Oh shit. I'm on the probability of it holding. And at this moment you're like, oh, you're stupid. What are you doing? You should not be taking this trade, blah blah blah. I say all the time the hardest trades are always the best, right? And then it just breaks. Rushes for it. See this drive right here? You're expecting that to reach this. If I showed you this screenshot, you'd flip out. I'm not gonna even do it. So anyways, boom. And then we started coming lower low, lower high. And let's make another. I was gone. Let me just do this. Bam. I don't want to cover up the. So what I'll do is this. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever. I want to explain everything, dude, but it's like, man, now these videos are way too long, bro. I know you don't mind if you're really a real trader, but I don't. So, anyways, man, so now we're here, okay? This is alarming, to be honest with you. But at the same time, this big range right here, it's okay to come back down. If people are talking about coming back down to these lows right here, I think that's pushing it. But in a 2022 scenario, maybe. So what the hell is this? So when we push this leg here from this leg, we already got this extra push. So that's why it does make sense if this is a support area right here and we come back to the 17,000 level. But at the same time, I feel like that's a stretch. But I don't know. I just feel like it also could fan out like this. Like we've been fanning out right here. See this? So if we're bearish and we're now on the 5-year historical data, because the 5 years shows this. At first, it's been acting like the 15 and all that, no problem. But then it just switched here. Around this area here, it was supposed to start coming up. It did not. It came down. So the 5-year does show that. So the reason why I'm saying that, by the way, look at this range. And you're wondering, well, why this range didn't work? Well, because of the fact that ranges are meant to be broken. They're made to be made and they're made to be broken. So I'm going to delete that because that was a liquidity level. And we're in a different type of environment. Again, another reason why we're selling here and here is because the environment we're in. We should have already had a bust through. We didn't have it. And you still didn't get it, even today. So today's Thursday. You had a big bearish candle. This looks bearish to me. So for me, this is a break, actually. So right here, this low right here. See, we make this high, we make this low. Then we make this high, and then we come down. Remember, we didn't take out that low. So it was still bullish. And then we paused here, and then we failed. It's a big failed high. And now we just broke that low. So to me, this is a break of, this is an official break of structure. Even though I was saying that it's possible, all up in this fucking area here, I said that it's possible. Now you're getting the piece of it. Now here's the thing. Take a look here at real quick here. So dollar I mentioned yesterday. So on the news, well, not news specifically, but I said, are you gonna see dollar push up hard, dude? If this is not fucking pushing up hard for you, then I don't know what to tell you. All right, so boom. Because yes, I thought it would have came in here, and it did not. It pushed up hard. So that was like my left eye saw that in the different screen, and I was like, okay, we're sell, like 100%. And then this was awesome here. There's a lot of little work here. So this is where I obviously very confusing, but we had higher lows with Dow at first and with Nas, and we had lower lows here, right? So I was like, okay. And then I took the sell here originally because obviously this wasn't there yet. But look at Dow. We had a higher high here with Dow, and we had lower highs here with Nas and S&P. So I was originally in the sell. Then it came up. So then the price came down, and it did not take out that low for Nas. That was a divergence. And then we started popping up. So I'm like, okay, is it bullish, right? But remember, I'm not married to this. And this is the whole point of this video for this situation is that, like, I don't need to, even though I want to be bullish, and we should be bullish, even if we, well, that's another conversation, if we should be or not. But following the flow of being bullish, the experience in these years made me realize that I don't have, remember to pivot and not be married to an idea. It clearly when it's fucking constantly keeps selling. That's the key. So and I'm saying all that to say this, that at this moment, I still realize that we could sell off and it could just be bearish as it is bearish. It is bearish. I mean, coming all the way back down here is a very alarming situation where it's obviously easy to be bearish still, right? Like to be bullish from here is just hard. But we get a divergence here. This moment is when I took that sell and I realized that higher high. We made a higher high with Nas, and we had lower highs here with S&P. Now, I'm sorry, did I draw that on the wrong one? Wait, so yeah, we had. So this was here. You're not gonna see it. This was here. Okay, so once that made a high and this was a lower high and Dow made a higher high here, okay, that was the sell-off. So now it's selling. Okay, now it's selling and Dow makes a higher low. We make lower lows. That's why I catch this buy. Because I understand also that we just swept the liquidity on the bigger, higher time frame. So we did that, right? That's a higher low here. Very clear. Lower low, lower low. So we push up. I take that buy up to here. Now, when we get up to here, okay, we have a lower high with Nas, we have a lower high with S&P, and here, from here to here, we have a higher high in this weird color. We have a higher high with Dow. So this is also showing you that this is the end of the road for NASDAQ and S&P. So it stops. We make a higher high here. And guess what? When we make this lower high here on Nas and this lower high on S&P, we make a nice little higher high here on Dow. I'm telling you, I can't make this fucking shit up. Can it be confusing? Yes, but I'm just explaining it to you. However you look at it as you. But me, I understand that it could sell off, and that's why, you could be a part of the move once it starts moving down, or even when it broke down. I'm not going to go into that, but I think this is going to be my last video. So Dow, we pushed up high, speakered out. Remember, I even mentioned that yesterday, and they had the nerve to come to take that high out and then still come down, bruh. So I was talking about this area being very suspect. Looks like they're running for it now. Look at the way the daily's closing. Although it did close, right? And oh my god. And then I talked about this here. So we were here yesterday with 50% of that body in that wick, very similar to Dow. And I was like, I like that, but it needed to keep going and it didn't. And that's a very suspect situation too. And then they decided to come even lower. So, bro, if you ask me, dude, we're bearish. So I was gonna say this to close out. This is very key. Remember, I told you Dow broke this low, retraced up. I think Dow is the first one to show you that the market, and I was going to say this many videos ago, months ago, actually, when we did this and came up, I was going to, and I might have, I think I've even mentioned it. Is this a break of structure and everybody else is catching up? And Dow told them on themselves, right? And to be bearish. And then now you get to see S&P, they're going to break their structure. Well, to be honest with you, they've already broke structure here. Did I say this before? I don't know. But even if that was going to be your support, they're going to probably break that. So that was the logic. But I mean, this was technically a break, but it could have been, hey, well, I won't go there. Could have been a speaker. But with Nas, very clear that now that low. So we are now just breaking it. So I think, so obviously Nas is next to break that low. And we should fan out. Just how this is fanning out like this, we should be getting that same structure here where it's like, and then, so, man, that March 4th, that tariffs thing, everybody quitting cutting off jobs and then tariffs too. I think that's kicking off all 22 all over again. So I fucked up and made this video long, dude. Yeah, with that earnings, dude, didn't go anywhere. Paused and they bullshitted, and so we're sweeping. So let's just put it like this: we're gonna get a leg down, right? Or we're getting the leg down. And is that going to be enough? Do they want to just come in here and then to these breakout levels, and then maybe we find our way back up, and life isn't that crazy? That's very possible, man. Do they want to sweep this and then project back up? I see it's very tough right now for that. So it's Thursday, week's bearish. Friday, do they want to continue Friday pushing hard for this? Well, they already took that out, bro. So there's no rush for anything else. I mean, unless they're really trying to rush for this. So, or does Friday kind of reverse back? We create the wick of the week. I'm going to say it now since we're here. This is the high, and this is the low. I'm not saying this is the final low of the week, okay? I'm not saying that. Just saying that's the low of the week. As of now. And that's the high. Why did I do that? Well, that's fine. So, do we want to buy up for Friday up to 20 to 40% somewhere in this area? Obviously, that gap is there. Do they want to push it up for that? Or do they want to continue Friday, come down first, and then let's just say it rolls up. Let's just say this becomes like the low of the week, right? And then do we buy from here and then come back up into here or some shit? Or some stupid push here. Who knows? Or don't trade it. By the way, coming back here. Or don't trade it Friday. It's a big drop. It could be a dud day. Consolidation, like very weak day. And you get frustrated at the end of this whole situation, right? So, take care. God bless.